Thanks for hitting the play button, Grinch Tip. A.K.A. Stephanie. A.K.A. Stephanie! So I'm talking back with another video. I am Strange Wang. Laughing over here, this guy. This guy is Nate. We're doing top 5 most overrated movies. If you go back, how Bubba said, there'd be top 5 underrated movies. And, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. My number 5 is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I watched it. There were chuckles. Maybe the problem was that I saw all the popular clips before I watched the whole movie. But the stuff in between the parts that everyone knows does not make the whole movie worth it.
One more thing!
I normally find British humor hilarious. So this is not like one of those cases of like, you just don't get foreign humor. No, I definitely do. I love British comedy. And this just is not that funny to me. My number 4 is Inception. People say this is Nolan's best movie. I'm not saying it's not a good movie. It is a good movie. And it's very inventive. And it's pretty original. And it has a lot of stars that I really, really like in it. It's a good movie. It's these in-between parts. So, like, it takes forever. And I understand why. You need a lot of setup to be able to explain why what is happening in all these sub-dreams is happening. But it just takes a really, really long time to get there. What's your number 5?
Top Gun. The stigma of a USA pride this movie gets, I think, is stupid. My number 4 is A Nightmare Before Christmas. You love this movie.
I do. But I see that it's not everyone's thing.
I see that cocksucker everywhere.
Jack Skellington?
Yeah.
He's the Pumpkin King.
The Blunkin'
And then he
King.
was Santa.
The Blunkin' King. This guy's everywhere. I walk into Hot Topic.
Oh, first of all, you walked into Hot Topic.
He's half the fucking store.
Yeah.
I was banging this chick, and he was all over her room.
Okay.
This bitch, too. What's her name?
Sally?
Yeah. Everywhere. Like, she didn't dress gothic.
I mean, you guys could have lived like Jack and Sally if you wanted.
I get the reference. They was fucking everywhere. I go here, there's Jack Skeleton, there's go here, there's Jack Skeleton, everywhere is cocksucker.
Yeah, because a lot of people like that movie.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't even know who it was directed by.
Well,
so, fuck them.
Number 3 on my list, Black Panther.
That's racist.
It's not racist, because I love all of those elements of that movie. You know what I don't love?
You just said those. That's racist.
It's not. The movie clearly existed to give African American representation on a superhero level, and I love it. And I love the relationship between him and Killmonger. But that's my problem: is they killed Killmonger, one of the best, if not the best, villain that the MCU had. Like they let him stick around for one. Like you don't waste Michael B. Jordan like that.
No, you don't.
Like he is phenomenal.
He's fucking Creed. He's Adonis Creed. Goddammit.
Yeah, and he's also Vince in Friday Night Lights.
He doesn't give up.
Like, it's just... Like, it just makes me so sad that they had such a great villain and that he's just gone that easily. But his little monologue at the end is phenomenal. So it was a good send-off, but, like, that would have meant so much more if it had lasted, like, at least 2 movies. I mean, make it a trilogy. Anyways, I hate that. I hate the fucking rhinos. The CGI in that movie is atrocious, especially when they're fighting each other. It still falls back into the same superhero problem of let's give the villain the exact same powers, but in this case, literally the exact same powers and the exact same suit, but a different color. I call it overrated because, like, people just chose to ignore all the problems that the movie had in lieu of its social relevance, and I love its social relevance, but also, wouldn't it have been better for culture if we had made it a good movie and also had all the representation that we needed to finally see on the big screen? Yeah. So my number 2 is Moonlight. I think this movie is wildly overrated. It is completely undeserving of its Best Picture win. Even if you don't think that La La Land was the best movie of that year, like, I mean, Sicario is better than Moonlight.
So?
It's slow. The kid's story, like when he's little, like the first third of that movie, I watched the first third because I was really mad about. I didn't watch it until it had already won Best Picture.
Yeah, I know.
And I was so upset that La La Land didn't win Best Picture. And I was like, well, I gotta watch this movie if people really think that it's better than this. So I did, and I watched the first third of the movie, and I was like, all right, like maybe I was wrong. and that, or like at least it could be good enough to rival what I thought should have won. And then it just kept getting worse and worse.
What you talking about, Willis?
My number 3 is Sunset Boulevard. It's very timely
Okay.
because silent actor, when the speaking roles come up, they don't cast her anymore. She gets old and bitter.
Mm.
Like they put silent actors in there. Like she was a silent actor.
Mm-hmm.
Buster Keaton's in there.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a cameo in the film. Like they use silent actors, so like it's very timely. But my problem with it is tone. She's very over the top, like she should be. But her butler's really over the top. He doesn't need to be over the top, I don't feel like.
Mm.
And the tone issues in this film, and because like time hasn't been kind to it because people don't do their research.
What else?
Number 2 is E.T. Nostalgia. It was like this film's problem to me. Like growing up, seeing it parodied all over the place. I don't buy this relationship for one fucking second.
It don't make no motherfucking sense.
You have magical moments that overshadow the film.
You're not wrong.
My number 1, it's Scarface. Sometimes what an artist intended to create gets accepted completely differently than what he intended by society. Sometimes that is great because it's like we get to look at art and then relate to it in our own way and make our own interpretations. And sometimes it's just bad for society, which is the case for a lot of gangster movies, but specifically Scarface.
My number 1 is A New Hope.
That swarm of nerds is gonna kill him.
But it's the first, in between this and Empire Strikes Back, I feel like because he didn't think he was going to get a second movie, there's so many plot holes. And for a movie to have so many plot holes, it doesn't explain a lot of stuff.
There's no plot holes.
2,000 years later.
Because it sparked a fucking empire, no pun intended. When I don't think it's deservingly of that empire.
After 3 boring minutes.
That is our top 5 most overrated movies of all time. Tell us why we suck down in the comment section. Because we're going to get that.
Probably from the 20-something people that watch this.
Yeah. We had 29 last time.
Hey.
Like, comment, and subscribe.